A lot of people have been posting on my last two videos saying that the closing eye that 21 Pilots has been posting to all of their social media accounts references to the fact that 21 Pilots is ending. This video is not only going to debunk that theory, but I'm also going to show evidence that proves why 21 Pilots is not going anywhere anytime soon. This is Jake with Stolen Potential. Grab some popcorn. This is going to be a blast. So the first piece of evidence that I have that solely proves why 21 Pilots is not ending anytime soon has to do with the final speech that Tyler gave during his Trees performance to close off the Ohio tours that took place about a month ago in June. I'm gonna go ahead and play that clip for you just to show how convincing Tyler is when talking about this subject. He's not only asking us to stick with them during this period of a break, but he's also telling us to stick with them during their new phases of music, which is coming soon. He's saying that if we stick it out and we stick with them, we're gonna see 21 Pilots do some crazy stuff. Here's the clip.
The last night of the last show, you cannot put a ceiling on your dreams, guys, and we are living proof. You guys have set the tone for what a 21 Pilots concert and show and movement feels like and it looks like. So thank you so much for making it happen. What happens after this? There's a lot of questions. And if I'm being transparent, I'm not really sure. But when I was putting on my persona for the very last time in my green room before this show, I wondered, is this the last time? But we're not gonna quit. I want you to know that we're not gonna quit. We're gonna take the things we've learned, and if you would just give us a little room to grow with you guys, we wanna make music, and we're gonna be thinking of this room right here when we do, I promise you.
That's pretty convincing, right? I mean, Tyler's saying it right there. There's gonna be new stuff coming and he's really excited to share it with us. But if you still have doubts, what about this picture that Tyler posted on his Instagram account a couple months ago? Basically, he was showing Jenna all of the new music that he's been working on, all of the different tunes and new ideas that he's been tossing around in his head. If you're still not convinced, I'm gonna highlight this interview that Tyler Joseph had with Alternative Press. I'm just gonna read a couple lines from this interview, and I think it really points to the fact that not only is 21 Pilots ending, but it's also continuing. It's gonna be making more music, dropping more albums. Looking forward to the next record, I feel a greater sense of freedom and less pressure. I felt a lot more pressure going from Vessel to Blurryface. It didn't happen the way industry people talk about it. There wasn't a massive single from Vessel that projected it into the pop charts. What we did was still different from their formula. Because it got beyond a certain point, I feel so much confidence that I can look at these people and look at myself and say, I know what we're making is for a group of people out there that want to hear it. That's all the confidence I need. And he continues to say, I'm looking forward to what an even more confident 21 Pilots record sounds like. I'm not saying these songs will sound confident, I'm saying the song structures will. Lyrically, the songs will always be the same reason why I started writing them in the first place. To say things that I felt and I couldn't say in regular context. Now that's hard evidence that's showing that 21 Pilots is in fact making new music as we speak. I mean, they're currently making a new album, developing it, and making a confident return. I'm so excited about this, you guys. You have no idea. I can't believe that Blurryface has launched 21 Pilots into the popularity that they are now, and hearing how that popularity has the potential to influence their music, showing them that, hey, there are people out there that listen to our music. Let's take confidence in that. I'm so excited to hear 21 Pilots' take on that confidence and how that affects their new album. Now, the last bit of information I want to share today doesn't necessarily prove the fact that 21 Pilots is putting out a new album, but instead kind of talks about what the new album is going to sound like, what influence it's going to be taking, influences that they're taking from their own music that they've put out years in the past. This article was apparently posted in a newspaper and was posted around in the 21 Pilots subreddit. This quote by Tyler Joseph reads, I was working on something last night that I'm really excited about, he says, looking over at his buddy. Josh, I have to show it to you. If we went into the studio right now, he pauses for a few seconds, that seemed like a half hour. I would say it would be a little, man, a lot can happen between now and tomorrow as far as ideas go. That being said, by the time we get into a studio and start working on it, it could completely change. I want to preface that. Right now, I think it would be a little less up-tempo than the last record. I would want to focus a little on the lyrical content. There are parts of the self-titled record that, production-wise and vocally, his voice trails off. There are so many things wrong with that record, or at least perceived as wrong. But the authenticity, lyrics, delivery, and fearlessness of the songwriting, I'd like to try to take top back to that. It's really hard to write a slower song. I want to write some slower songs again. The fearlessness of their ability to write lyrics now is going to be unprecedented. And now that they know that they have an intense, hardcore following from the clique and from 21 Pilots fans, I think that they're going to explode creatively. I think that they're just going to have this renaissance of music that's going to be so new and so fresh. It's going to be like listening to 21 Pilots for the very first time once again. But of course it's going to be new music, but it's just going to be so incredibly refreshing. Now, the longer I think about it, the more that I sway to the side of people that thinks that this album is going to come out in 2018. I would love for this music to come out in 2017. However, based on some of the other interviews that I have watched from 21 Pilots, actually cue the clip.
It's just ideas right now. That's how it starts, though. It's just a bunch of ideas. It has to have a narrative. There needs to be a story. So the question is, where do we want to take our fans next?
After Tyler saying, you know, they just really only have ideas, they really only have fragments of ideas of what they want to put in their new album, that kind of gives me more of a direction of how long it's gonna be until their new album releases. That clip was from about a year ago, and if they said that a year ago, then it's hard for me to tell when exactly this album is gonna be launched. I would love new music this year, tomorrow in fact, but I don't know, 2018 is sounding more realistic. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your comments below. So that's my video about why 21 Pilots is not leaving anytime soon. Guys, don't sweat it, they're not ending, I promise. Songs of the week. All right, let's go. If you're unfamiliar with this is a segment where I pick one song that's by 21 Pilots that I've been listening to a lot this week, and one song that's not by 21 Pilots that I just adore, and I've been listening to it non-stop. So for the 21 Pilots song, it's Goner. I freaking love Goner. This song is incredible. I remember actually hearing it for the very first time. I was in a drive-through ATM line at a Chase Bank, and the first time that the song started to build up and then die down, I was like, what? What's going on? And then the second time it built up and then dropped off again, I was like, okay, this song's just teasing me. Based on the drums and the instrumentals, I'm expecting this crazy all-out explosion of music. And then when it finally happened, I was just... And it still hits me that hard every single time. Like, I adore that song. So that's why I love Goner so much. The second song is actually by another band under the Fueled by Robin label, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it if you like 21 Pilots, but it's by a band called Panic at the Disco. I'm sure you've heard of them. The song is This Is Gospel. Wait a minute, it's not the actual album version, it's the piano version. Oh my goodness. I know, I'm lame, but I just discovered this about a week ago, and holy moly, what a song. It's amazing, and it transforms it from this crazy upbeat pump up music to this really dramatic, almost a song full of melancholy. It's phenomenal. I love it. If you haven't checked it out, links will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jake, once again with Stolen Potential. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to ask you guys a question. Which version of car radio do you prefer? The regional at best version or the vessel version? Put your answers in the comments below. Love you guys, and I will see you next time.